28 years old, getting a hysterectomy. That's a lot of fun.
A lot of pain in a lot of places. This girl needs to get on the strongest antibiotics now.
Can you show us a thumbs up? Nice. That hurts? Oh no.
What's it like to get a hysterectomy, a urethral sling surgery, and a pelvic floor repair surgery? I'm going to share that with you today. Now, this is just my story. Everybody's story is different, of course. I'm only 28 years old. It's not as common to get a hysterectomy under 30 years old, but I know I'm not the only one. There's going to be a lot of TMI because I want to share with you the details. I want you to know actually what it's going to be like. So we arrived at the hospital around 11 a.m. It was actually really quick from the time I got to the hospital until they put me into surgery. Now, I actually had two surgeons. I had a urologist doing the urethral sling surgery, and I had an OBGYN doing the hysterectomy and the bowel, bladder lift, pelvic repair surgery.
All right, here we are. We're about to get Aimee's hysterectomy underway. 28 years old, getting a hysterectomy. That's a lot of fun.
I'm very excited, though. I'm not going to feel that way after, I'm sure, for a minute, but I'm very excited right now. It lasted about 4 hours. It was a pretty big surgery because they did pretty much 3 surgeries in one.
All right, here we are, post-op Aimee. She made it okay, and doctor said there were no complications. Everything went pretty well, so that's good to hear. She's just in a decent amount of pain right now. I guess this is the worst part, is the, like, directly after. How you doing, babe? Can you show us a thumbs up? Nice. That hurts? Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
No, just like
Gotcha. Oh, shoot, she got smoker voice too. Say something?
it hurts.
Oh, shoot. We got some gnarly photos of the operation, some of the pictures that were taken. So you'll be able to show off your battle scars. I thought you were pretty on the outside. Turns out you're pretty on the inside too. All right. Anything you want to say to the fine people?
I can't.
Okay. She can't. No worries. We'll catch you later. Rest up, okay? All right. Aimee got a little bit of morphine, which is fun. Still in a decent amount of pain, though. This is a pretty serious surgery. I don't know if you want to say anything or not. I know that it's hard to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay, babe. Don't worry about it. So we're just still waiting. We're just hoping that things get a little bit better. Obviously, it just kind of sucks. You can't really do a whole lot. Hang in there, Aimee. We're here for you.
And I was so sick after. I was so nauseous. I was so dizzy. I couldn't even open my eyes. I felt like I had the worst flu combined with the worst headache. And on top of it, a lot of pain in a lot of places. I think they put me on tramadol, morphine, oxycodone, ibuprofen, Tylenol. There was just a lot of things I was put on that night. And I had to pump soon after surgery. My husband actually had to go home to help the kids get to bed. And so I had my mom come and spend some time with me in the evening, and she helped me try to pump, but it was so painful. I did the best I could, and my milk supply really suffered because I just didn't pump enough. So my surgery had 4 incisions on my abdomen, and then I had 2 inside my vagina and 2 at the very bottom. So I had a lot of incisions in a lot of places. And so of course the ones on my belly hurt, but what was the most uncomfortable was they had to put a lot of what they called packing inside my vagina. It felt like I had a gigantic dry tampon in. It was incredibly uncomfortable, and I also had a catheter in. It was just really uncomfortable down there. Like everything down there was really uncomfortable.
It's 4 a.m. I don't know if you can see me. It looks completely black, but I'm sitting here waiting for the nurse to come take my catheter and something else that's in there out that have been super uncomfortable.
That night I was alone. My mom left. I did spend the night alone, which I probably would not recommend to most people. I really do wish I had someone there, but it was just a little bit too hard. Finally, at 4 a.m., once it had been 12 hours since my surgery ended, I was able to get the catheter and the packing taken out, and that did not feel good at all. The catheter wasn't so bad, but the packing, I could not believe how much was in there. It seriously took the nurse like 2 whole minutes to pull out the packing, and I'm not even exaggerating. I swear it took so long, and it was incredibly uncomfortable.
It's out, so I'm feeling much more comfortable just sitting. I'm obviously in pain, but it's much better than it was last night. They said the blood work's coming in soon, and then they'll be giving me some more pain medication. I'm just gonna get up. I'm gonna watch a little show by myself. Finally not feeling so awful like I did last night, where I couldn't even really listen even to like a podcast because I was just so sick. I feel like I can even vlog this. I totally planned on like sharing all the things that happened the first 24 hours, but it was just a lot.
And I was actually bleeding a ton after that. Now, I didn't have a uterus, so I didn't really expect this, but I had a lot of bleeding for the first 24 hours, and it lasted a couple of days. So after I got the catheter out, she said, now we need you to pee. And I thought that'd be easy, right? I had been peeing my pants multiple times a day for the past 4 years. I've never had a problem going to the bathroom. And I went to go do that first bathroom, which, first of all, so painful to walk to the bathroom. One of those things where I thought, how would anybody be able to do this on their own? Like, I had to have 2 nurses walking me to the bathroom. And I sat on the toilet and I could not pee. And it took me 2 or 3 times of trying to go till I finally got a tiny bit out. And finally, after a couple more hours, I was able to finally pee. And I would say every time after that got a little bit easier. There are still times where I have to sit for a little bit and wait on my body because it's just not used to having that sling in there and having it a little more difficult to go, but I can always go now. So just under 24 hours after my surgery, I started to feel better. My husband Joshua came to get me, and he took me to get smoothies at Jamba Juice.
All right, we're here at Jamba Juice. Aimee's looking beautiful. How you feeling?
A lot of pain.
Yeah? Better though?
Yeah, better than yesterday. So pain, but we're on the uphill. We're through the worst of it. So.
Yeah. And we're here to get Aimee some breakfast.
And we are having a date.
Having a date?
All of our dates end up at the hospital.
Yes. Very expensive dates at the hospital.
Yeah, we need to start going on some cheaper dates, but we're doing our best.
We made it to night 2. Day 2 was much better than day 1. Night 1 was awful. And today was much better. I am still on the pain medication, and so that is definitely helping. I know with my gallbladder surgery I could handle not being on it by the second day, but this one is much more painful than the other laparoscopic surgeries that I have had. So we're still on the pain meds. I did take a shower, which felt very nice. I tried to nurse my baby just a little bit tonight. She's been doing a bottle. They told me to wait 24 hours after anesthesia. And I think my husband's going to do tonight all the night ones, but then tomorrow morning I'm going to start trying to nurse her again. Still a lot of pain. They told me that from the sling that I would get pain on my right side that felt like my legs and butt, like I had run a marathon without training. Basically, they said you'd just be super sore. So I'm feeling that tonight. We're getting through this. We are through the worst of it, and it's all going to be worth it. I do still have a scratchy voice from the tubes they put in, but I am feeling a lot better, even though I don't look pretty or sound pretty.
Over those next few days, it was a weekend, so I had my surgery on a Thursday. Friday was the day I went home. Saturday through Monday, my parents took my older two kids, so it was just me, my husband, and the baby, which made things much, much easier. Now, I don't recommend getting a hysterectomy with little kids, but if you need it, you know, you do what you gotta do.
So surgery is Thursday, it is now Saturday, and the pain is definitely getting better. I have side effects from the pain medication. I get bad headaches, which is kind of weird, but that has always happened to me. And I get really nauseous usually, but they gave me a nausea medication that has helped a lot.
I'm so happy I did it now, but at the time, I just have to tell you, it was one of the hardest things I have ever done. It was one of the hardest things my husband has ever done. My baby, unfortunately, was waking up every 2 hours because my milk supply had dropped and she wasn't getting enough milk. In order to get my milk supply back, I had to get up with her every 2 hours to feed her. It did eventually come back, but unfortunately, around that same time it came back, she got a cold, I got a cold, and she was again up every 2 hours. So we were not sleeping. I was in so much pain. I needed help nursing. My husband had to get up with me for that first week because it was so difficult for me to nurse her. And those first 2 weeks, I actually had someone with me 24/7. My husband was there nights and weekends, and I had some other family member or friend or someone come over during the day to help me with the other kids as well as my baby and help me and help keep my house clean and feed me. And I really needed help, especially the first week, but the first 2 weeks I had someone with me pretty much always. Both the urethral sling and the hysterectomy, if you get them on their own or at the same time, they both are a 6 to 8 week recovery period where you can't lift anything over 10 to 15 pounds. My baby was about 12 pounds, and that was all I was able to lift. You're not allowed to put anything in there, if you know what I mean. You are not allowed to take baths. You are not allowed to do any activities that engage your abs, vacuuming, mopping, pushing a cart at a grocery store, anything like that. But at 2 weeks post-op, I had a follow-up with my OBGYN. I'd been having a lot of not good smelling and weird colored stuff coming out, okay? And I thought maybe it was normal. I also had a lot of irritation down there. So what I ended up doing, and I found this out after a couple days, is I started out using pads because of course you're not supposed to put anything in there. And I actually just used baby burp cloths. I had some unused, they were clean, washed, but I had actually never used them for my baby. And I just shoved them in there, and that's what I wore for literally 7 weeks while I was still having all of the things come out. But it wasn't all normal. I had a really bad UTI and a vaginal infection at the same time. The lab results came back that night with such a bad UTI that they called the doctor and said, this girl needs to get on the strongest antibiotics now. And let me tell you, that was the best thing. A few days later, I had so much less pain down there. I had so much less itching and irritation, and I still had to wear the cloth diapers and stuff for a while, but it did kind of ease up. And I got kidney stones. So at 5 weeks post-op, I got kidney stones, was in the hospital for that. I had 7 kidney stones. I passed 2 of them, ended up getting a surgery a couple weeks later for my kidney stones. So I had another surgery. That's a video for another day. But I had those kidney stones, and then after that I got COVID and pushed back my post-op appointment. Finally, at 7 weeks, I had my 2 post-op appointments, my one with my OBGYN, one with my urologist, which also doubled as a post-kidney stone appointment as well. And at that appointment, my doctor cleared me for all the things. I was no longer on pelvic rest. I could take baths. I could exercise. However, it still hurts a lot. So things are still not quite there. My doctor said it's normal, and we are just going to take things slow, and hopefully my body will continue to heal. Eventually, it will all be worth it. Right now, we are still healing, but I'm able to function. I'm able to get back to most things that I was doing before. I just have to be a little bit careful. I never ever have to have a period again. Life-changing. So I'm very happy at this point that we got the surgery. It was definitely worth it. I have not peed my pants since the surgery, so that's amazing as well. And I just feel so much better. It was very, very difficult, but it was very, very worth it. So that's my hysterectomy story. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions for me. I'm an open book. I'm happy to share about anything and everything related to health. Make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.